we go to main standing, this goes here. Okay, it's fine to let them in, Hannah.
I wanted to help as many people as possible, and the best way to do that is to write a book. So when I started looking for publishers, I was looking for the best resource, the best person who could help me bring this book to market. So many people decide to write a book, but it's years and they never get the book out. Well, a few weeks ago, I met Jerry Robert and Black Card Books, and I chose them to publish my book.
Yes, yes.
I attended a training in which they told us so much valuable information. It was so practical. They showed me how to write my book in a whole lot less time than I was taking to write it.
Check. Okay, go
They
ahead and let
gave
them
me
in.
deadlines. We actually have a date when my book is coming out. As soon as I started working with them, I was given assignments to do. There's timetables, there's dates, there's a whole team of people to work with. And not only that, but Jerry has worked with some of the most famous writers and speakers. And if I started naming people, you would know who they were. And he knows what it takes to help people bring out the message they have.
welcome. Are you in for a ride? I'm going to tell you, you have made one of the wisest decisions that you've ever made by attending this seminar. Your mind is just going to expand. You know, I met my good friend Jerry Robert 20 years ago, and I thought I taught him something. I showed him how to go from $100,000 a year to well over $100,000 a month. But you know something? He taught me something. He taught me how to add some creativity to my life, how to add some marketing to my company. He's helped me earn millions of dollars. As you pay real close attention to everything he says, you're going to see how your life can just keep changing. And it will, and it'll change very fast. Now, you know, we enter programs with preconceived ideas. I think they're called paradigms. We've got a conditioned way of looking at things. And we have a defense mechanism that we have up when it should be down, and it's down when it should be up. You know, if you wandered into a new car showroom, you could be sitting there rubbing the fender of something that you don't need, and your defense mechanism's down, and in nothing flat. You're driving a car that you didn't even need. You spent an absolute fortune on something that's depreciating. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't get a new car. I think you should have the car that you want. But you get the idea. Our defense mechanism is down when it should be up. We should ask ourselves, do I really want this? Do I really need it? Is this where I want to be spending my time, my money? But then when Jerry goes to show you how to make an investment in yourself and in your business with a brand new marketing plan, whoop, you'll find that many times a person's defense mechanism comes up. Drop yours right now. Just drop it. I want to suggest that you sit back and you really relax and pay attention to what this man's saying. I'm going to tell you, he is one of the most creative people I've ever known. And you know that I could take you to probably 100 different countries in the world where they would say, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. I'm not just trying to build him up for his benefit. I'm trying to wake you up for your benefit. Jerry Robert has some phenomenal information. This is Bob Proctor. Thank you.
You want multiple sources of income? You want instant credibility? You want more leads for your business? You want free publicity? You want expert celebrity status? Publish your book. Jerry Robert went from living a life of poverty to earning multiple millions per year and more than $200 million in the past 30 years. He is in the top 20 highest paid speakers on the planet. He is a recognized expert in the field of marketing, sales, branding, and book publishing. He's the founder of Black Cart Books, one of the fastest growing book publishers in the world. He is a best-selling author, columnist, speaker, and consultant, and operates globally. Jerry has spoken to more than 3 million people from around the world. He has written several best-selling books, including The Millionaire Mindset, How Ordinary People Can Create Extraordinary Income. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Jerry Robert.
Hey, how are ya? Good to see you. Hey, how are you guys? Susan, good to see you. Hey, Marilyn's got a thing going on. Hey, turn your video on. Hey, good to see you all. Moon, September, Dante, All right, well, let's get this thing going. My name is Jerry Robert, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you here. It's a great night, and we've got people from all over the world. Why don't you just type and let me know where you're from? If you just go to the chat, I think you can type in where you're from, and we've got people here from all over the world, and I want to just find a little bit about where you're from. So I think you can, let me just go and show you where everybody's from. We got people here. We got Tate from Texas, Noah from Hollywood. Let me just see where else everybody else. Whoa, sorry about that. Let me go back to this 1 second. We have Pat from Regina, Samia from Calgary. Welcome, Joritza from New York. Katrina from Arizona, Los Angeles. Robin, welcome. Rob from Calgary, hey man. Marcus, how are you? We have a few people from LA. Thank you, Tony, Melissa, Audrey, San Antonio, Texas. Hey, welcome. Turn your video cameras on so I can see you guys. Danny from California, Tacoma. Hey, Washington, Jerry, nice name, dude. Barbara from Joshua, Texas, and Gordon from Mississauga. Oh, my neck of the woods. All right. Well, we're going to get started today, and we're going to talk about publishing a book and growing rich. So I wrote this book, and I thought 3 million people how to publish a book and grow rich. And nobody has helped more people publish books than I have. I've been doing this for 30 years. I was one of the first guys to ever talk about entrepreneurial publishing. I have helped more people than anybody on the planet. There's lots of people teaching, writing, seminars, and publishing. But I was the first. And most of the people that you see out there today are my clients or people who've been to my seminars. And a lot of them have actually stolen my material and set themselves up as competitors. I don't care, but you're here and that's what matters. And hey, Michelle, I see your little son. Hey, how are you? I could see you. Good. Hey, buddy. Good to see so many of you here. And we got people from all over. Huntington Beach. Lance is from LA. Karen is from Hurrah Valley. So we're gonna do this. And listen, the people that we tend to attract are people who have a book inside them that is designed to help other people. Just watch what happens when you can get a book out and watch the effect that it can have. Wait till you have something like this going on for you. Watch this.
And she just told me that she read my book almost 10 years ago. She didn't have any money. She started. What's happened since?
It was about 13 years ago. I don't have a home. I don't have a car. I'm really broke. In fact, I was minus. But I just read this book. Just this book. I know that you have been conducting seminars, but I don't really have enough money to go. So just with this book, I started with nothing, but now I have 6 schools.
Six
just
schools.
by research, I follow step by step. 6 schools in Penang.
Isn't that something? She's just moved into action. What a great inspiration! If you move in action, now she can afford a house and a car and has 6 schools. So that's great.
I bought a house, my own school at Penang.
Isn't that something?
And I built my own home, a bungalow in Penang.
That's great. You have the right mindset.
Thank you.
Anything can happen.
I really thank you.
Thank you.
And thank God for meeting me with you
Thank
today
you.
after 13 years.
That's great. What an inspiration. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, by the way, that's me, not my fat brother. I have lost 140 pounds, man. I feel so great. But hey, you're going to have an opportunity to impact other people, and I want you to stay engaged. You know, if you think you're going to get rich listening to a rich guy, you're nuts. You've got to take action and stay engaged. And so we're going to talk about 8 steps to publishing success. We have the next hour and a half together, and we're going to make it count. I want to tell you a couple of different things as we start. We've got a fabulous free gift for you. if you stay right until the end, you're not going to believe, but you're going to get a tool that'll help you create your book in no time if you stay until the end. First of all, let me go here for a second. Let me see how this is working. So can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, everybody? Yeah, thumbs up. Is the sound okay? All right, let me just go here for a second. Okay, so everybody can hear me okay. That's wonderful. Well, like I say, there's a great gift for you if you stick until the end, and you'll want to. Now, I told you I've been doing this for 30 years, so it's natural that I have some biases. I got several biases. And I want to share them with you today because I'm going to share some ideas that you probably wouldn't have ever thought about before. And I'm going to give you several critical facts right off the bat to give you content immediately. And then that's part of our introduction or preamble. I'm going to give you several crucial facts that you need to understand. And then I'm going to give you 8 steps to publishing success. My biases and these critical facts may be different than what you're used to. And so the first one is this. So I tell people, don't even focus. Critical fact number 1 is you shouldn't even focus on book sales. I mean, there's little money to be made selling books in comparison to the money around a book. So this is Andrew. Andrew is in our program. Andrew is an insurance agent in Toronto. He makes about $2,500 every time he finds a new customer. So it doesn't make sense for him to go around trying to flog a book and make $10 when he could give away the book and make $2,500. You see how smart that is? The publishing world is in major decline, but that doesn't mean the fact that you can't use a book for all kinds of purposes. Now, I want to say this, that everybody that you see in this presentation today are people whose books that I publish. And so I'm the owner of Black Card Books, which is sponsoring this event today. And I have taught this to over 3 million people. I'm the biggest guy in the industry. Nobody has helped more people publish than me. And that's because I got different ideas. And so one of them is this. Critical fact number 2, if you're taking notes. And by the way, make sure you take lots of notes. I speak at about 400 words a minute with gusts up to about 500. So take lots of notes. Critical fact number 2 is this. There's no money selling books today. Seriously. The money is not in selling books. And that's because of critical point number 3. And it's this. Critical fact number 3 is that the big money is in the business around the book. And so when people come to a seminar like this, they typically expect the speaker to talk. Let me go back. They expect the speaker to talk almost exclusively about how to get a good book. And I think you got to get a good book, that's for sure. But the money is not here. The money is around the book. It's getting leads for your business. It's doing speaking if you want to do speaking. It's selling online courses. It's differentiating yourself in the marketplace. It's getting free publicity. It's using your book to have major impact in people's lives. It's using your book to raise your closing percentages. And so when people come to a seminar like this, they expect the entire seminar to be focused on the book. I'm telling you that today's seminar is going to focus a lot more on the money around the book. Now, does your book have to talk about, do we have to discuss how to have a good book? Yes. But the big money, I'm telling you, is around the book. And so for that reason, I'm telling you that it's a little bit different the way I'm going to approach things. Just give me a second. And I want to start off by telling you my story. So I met a guy, and in meeting this guy, I completely changed my life. I don't know if you've ever had this sort of thing happen to you, but I met this guy maybe 30 years ago. He asked me one question and made 2 statements that put me on a whole new course of life. His question to me was, what's the most amount of money you've ever made in a single year? Well, geez, I'm from Canada, and I don't know if it's because I'm from Canada or what, but we typically don't like to talk about money. But I told him that I had earned $100,000 the month before, or the year before. I'd had my best year ever. And I thought I was a big shot because nobody in my family had made $100,000. None of my friends had. And so I told him, I made $100,000. Well, then he made the first of two statements. When I told him how much I made in a year, he looked me in the eye and he said, "That is garbage." And I thought, what are you talking about? And he finished that first statement by saying, it's garbage for you to make in a year when you could be making that much in a month. Shut up, in a month. Get out of here. I was working like a dog to make this in a year, and this guy's telling me I can do this in a month? Get out of here. Well, I don't know what you would say if somebody told you you could make in a month what you're now making in a year, but I didn't say to him, "Okay, great guru, just tell me what to do. I'll do anything." No! When anybody shared an idea that seemed absurd to me, I had to challenge it. And so then I started getting very excited about proving to him why I could never earn $100,000 in a single month. I told him that I was young. I was in my 20s at the time. I told him that Canada was in a recession. I told him that I didn't have any money. You see, I thought to make money you had to have money. He said, and I told him that I was making 100, but it was costing me 125 to get it. You entrepreneurs know what the hell I'm talking about. I was living on credit cards, and I told him that I can't do it for all these reasons. And as I'm telling him every one of these reasons, I told him that I grew up in poverty. And so I told him that my parents couldn't even provide the basics of life, like food and shelter, without government assistance. I mean, I grew up in the ghettos of Canada, in Ontario housing. And so when I'm talking to you about making $100,000 a year when I'm in my 20s, I'm thinking, why doesn't he see what I'm seeing? Well, then, as I'm giving him every reason, and I told him, listen, you don't understand. In my family, we're all on welfare. All my cousins, my uncles, my brothers, my dad were all alcoholics, drug addicts, and criminals. And that's exactly where I was heading when, on September 6, 1977, 43 years ago, I left that life. I opened myself up to the spiritual dimension of life, and everything changed. Now, 15 years later, I'm making $100,000 a year in my 20s, and this knucklehead's telling me that he's thinking that that's garbage. And then, so I'm giving him every reason why I could never do that. And then he looked me right in the eye, and he made the second statement. It was worse than the first. He looked at me right in the eye, and he said to me, "You are a jerk," just like that. Oh my goodness. Imagine if somebody calls your income garbage and you a jerk in the first 5 minutes of meeting them. Well, I just thought to myself, my goodness. If somebody calls your income garbage and you a jerk in the first 5 minutes of talking to them, it's either going to be a pretty brief meeting, or I thought to myself, my goodness, maybe I should listen to him. And he told me that he had been making that kind of money and more for over 25 years, and that he comes from the same place where I come from out in life. And he's saying, I'm telling you, you could do it, and you're not even thinking about it. And he said, anybody who would summarily dismiss an idea without grappling with it, that person isn't thinking. And he said, I've been put on this earth to make people wake up. And I thought to myself, what if he's right? What if it was possible to make every month what I used to make every year? Not even every year, just one, doing that for 1 month. How many people here would like to make next month what you made all last year? Come on, let me see your hands, everybody. Let's see some participation. Marilyn, you didn't put your hand up. Come on. Wouldn't you like to make in a month what you're used to making in a year? Oh my goodness. And many of you didn't put your cameras on. Some of you didn't put your hands up. I don't know what's the matter. But we're going to be talking about money. And you know the funny thing was when he called me a jerk, and I thought, geez, now I didn't believe I could ever make $100,000 in a month, but I'll tell you something. I knew he believed I could do it, and that is all I needed. You know why? Because I knew I was destined for more than that. I knew at some point it had to be my time. I was working way too hard. I'd see other people take off, and then I thought at some point, if I just get somebody to believe in me, get somebody to give me a path to run on, I'll friggin' do anything. And I did. Everything changed. Do you know within 12 to 24 months, I started to make every month what I used to make every year? Come on, man. A guy got kicked out of school when he's 15, grew up in an alcoholic home, turned everything around. Well, I started to make over $1 million a year in my 20s, man. And you know how people say money won't make you happy? That is bullshit. I tell people, if you don't think money is going to make you happy, you don't know where to shop. Hey, everything changed. And since that time, I've made $1 million in a year. I've done $1 million in a month. I've done $1 million in a week. I've done $1 million in a day on several occasions. And on a few occasions, I've even made over $1 million in one seminar. Now, listen to me. Listen to me carefully. I'm not telling you that to brag. Well, a little bit I am. But I'm telling you that because I'm the guy who got kicked out of school when I was 15. I'm the guy who started with nothing. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And people say stupid things like, oh, nothing's happening during Corona. Are you nuts? I got all kinds of people who I had my best month ever last month. So, listen, Sally Ann says, I want to be like you. Where's Sally Ann? Just wave to me, Sally Ann, if your video is on. Where's Sally Ann? Oh, I see. All I see is your hands, girl. You got to put your video right on the... All right. Make sure you're centered. See how you got to center and get the lights up behind you because I can't see your face. I can see Brian's face. I can see Geraldine's face. I can see Marilyn's face. I can see Marcus. I can see Tate. I can see Elizabeth. Joel. Hey, I see Melvin's face. Now, Melvin hasn't smiled in a while. Meme, are you going to smile? Elizabeth, I need some people. Audrey, I can see you there. Good. So I started to make every month what I used to make every year, and man, everything changed. I couldn't believe it. And some lady recently said to me, well, if you're making so much money, why don't you retire? And I thought, retire? Are you nuts? I mean, first of all, I thought it was a bit of a rude question. But let me ask you this. How many of you here want to become speakers? Or you're either a speaker now or you want to become a speaker? Let me see your hands. Wow. Well, let me tell you something. You guys will understand what I'm about to say. Even though I don't have to do these anymore. Like, I don't have to do another seminar as long as I live, man. There's enough money for me, for my kids, my grandkids. There's probably even enough money for my grandkids' grandkids. But listen to me carefully. Those of you who are speakers, you'll get it. Even though I don't have to do this, I have to do this. My life changed by listening to a speaker. My life completely turned around by doing what a rich person told me to do. And so retiring seems crazy to me. I live north of Toronto, about 45 minutes, and if I retired, this is how I would spend most of my time. So I'm not retiring anytime soon, that's for sure. But do you know, since I had that first conversation with that guy, I brought in over $200 million into my bank account and out of my business partners. So I'm getting some comments about the sound. Can you just give me a quick thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Is the sound okay? You may have to turn your speakers up because I don't know what else I could do on this end to make it better. I've got everything pretty much maxed out. Is the sound okay? Give me thumbs up if your sound is okay. Well, I seem to get most people being okay here. So, well, let me continue on now and tell you what happened. And as I told you, getting over $200 million is a whackload of money. And the reality is I'm not retiring because I still got huge goals. This is what I'm working on now. Look at this, guys. This is a Citation 10 private jet. It goes at 500. It's the fastest business jet in its class. It goes about 500 miles an hour. And I'm telling you, when you're up there and you're eating sushi, it has never tasted so good. And you know what you do when you're up there? You get on the phone and you call all your broke relatives and friends. You know those people who said you'd never amount to much? Hey, guess where I am? Hey, I'm just kidding. I have some psychological issues still. Don't judge me. But listen, I've got huge goals. And one of the reasons I have this goal is I travel around and I open for this guy all over the world. How many of you know who Tony Robbins is? Anybody? Oh, look at all you guys. Good. Well, I open for Tony. That means I speak right before Tony at many of the at the National Achievers Congress. I open for Tony all the time. I've been doing that in Asia, Australia, Europe, United States, and what a thrill to speak right before one of the giants in our industry. He's not only a giant in our industry, like he's like a friggin' giant. This guy's like he's got teeth the size of my head. This guy. Well, he's got his own plane, and he comes from the same side of town that I grew up in, and so for me to think about him, well, Tony's got his own plane, and I thought to myself, well, if Tony's got his own plane, why the hell couldn't I get one? And so I decided to choose the Citation 10. Now watch here. You see this? The floor is indented on this plane. And so that means that Tony could literally stand up in my plane. And I thought to myself, boy, the day's going to come. I promise you the day's going to come when I say to him, hey, Tony, for the next seminar, let's ride on my plane. And that is very inspiring. I've got huge goals, and I think you should have huge goals. But still, that's not the reason I do what I do. The reason I do what I do has much more to do with the impact that my books have had in this world. But now, more than ever, it's the impact that of the books we are publishing. So we're currently publishing at this moment 1,600 books. Each one of those books is going to impact all kinds of people, in many cases people that I'll never be able to inspire. People like Anna Dow, who wrote a book on PTSD. Her husband suffers from it. She wrote a book to help families of people who suffer from PTSD. I've been with that woman all over the world. And I've watched her impact family members of PTSD victims. And let me tell you, if you want to know what really inspires Jerry Robert, it's people like Anna. It's people like you who've written books that will change people's lives. So I want you right now in the chat, I want you to type in the chat, I want you to type what it is you are writing about. Now, just go ahead, I'll put it there. What is the subject of your book? What are you going to help people do? Now, I want you to participate. Listen, I know it's challenging, those of you who are listening to me. It's very challenging to be listening to a speaker, but I'm telling you, if you're not going to participate in this presentation, you're wasting your time. So I'm asking you to type down what your books are about. So, Michelle, let me just see, a bit muffled. So, Katrina, Overcoming Tragedy, Learn to Love Themselves, September, Building Character. Look at that, God-given life purpose. Thanks, Michelle. I'm a former pastor, too, by the way. Never the Mother of the Bride. Wow, I got to find out what that is, Bisley. Kimberly, Holistic Living, Spiritual Healing, Embracing Yourself. Good. Keep typing, guys. Robin's about a series of children's book. Get over yourself. Meme. I love it. Purpose by Design. Look at all these things. My Scars Tell My Story. Oh, wow. Raising a Family on a Dime. Tate. Tony, Power of Confidence. Look at this. Philosophy of Life and Death. Oh, my goodness. Healing. Oh, guys, you see, that's what motivates me, you see. It's the fact that you're going to write books that are going to be able to touch people that I'll never be able to touch. And so for that reason, I have one job in the next hour, hour and a half, and that is to convince you that you can do this. You can do it and almost have a moral obligation to do it. Here's what I know about you guys. You have paid very dearly for what you've learned. I've been doing this for 30 years. I know who comes to my seminars. I know that some of you have been to hell and back. You've paid a big price to learn what you have learned. And some of you, you're going to literally save somebody's life, man. You're going to save a marriage. You're going to save somebody from getting sick. You're going to help people have more purpose and driven. You're going to improve self-esteem. And for those reasons, you got to get this book done. And so I'm thrilled that you're here. And as we go through this, I'm going to show you exactly how to publish your book and grow rich. Now, I need to tell you this quickly and understand this. Throughout the presentation, I will be giving away free copies of my book, Publish a Book and Grow Rich. Anybody here want a copy of that book? Let me just see your hand. Let me make some noise. Anybody want to get a copy of that book? Well, all right. So if you want a copy of that book, you have to turn your video cameras on, because that's how I'm going to pick the right person. And so you never know when these things come. I pop them in every so often, and if your video camera's on, I'll just look up there. You see, hi everybody. So I've got all these monitors, I've got all these people, and so when I see Susan waving at me, I see Jerry. Hey buddy, how you doing? Turn your video cameras on. Make sure your name is on the thing, because I can't tell who the hell you are. Tell me who you are. But when the time comes, Jules, I see your hand. Lance, all of a sudden. Good, good, good. Now, some of you up there, I can't see. There's no name. I can't pick you out if I don't have a name. I see Sally Ann. I see Antonia. I see MDM. I don't know who you are, though. What's your name? You can change the name somewhere in the Zoom business. I see Brian. Sean, how are you, man? Sean, smile, man, smile. All right, Susan's smiling. So if you want to win a copy of my book, your videos have to be on, because they come all over the place, and I'll pick somebody right on the spot. Okay, I got to deal with one quick thing before we start off. Let me ask you this question and tell me the truth. How many of you here think I'm going to try and sell you something today? Come on, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands, guys. Let me see your hands if you think I'm going to try and sell you something. Yes. Well, I promise not to disappoint you. Of course I got something to sell, my goodness. But hey, I'm very different from other speakers in that I am not going to try and sell you the whole time. I'm not that kind of guy. Have you ever gone to a webinar like this and the friggin' speaker's just beating the crap out of you to try and get you to buy something? Listen, I am not that guy. I don't work like that. That's not the way I operate. I will give you more content in the next hour than you will believe. And I'm going to do that because some of you may decide to work with me. But here's my philosophy. What I say to people is, of course, I've got something to sell. I'll tell you more about it in a second. But the reality is, it's very expensive what I offer, and I want to make sure that it's a right fit. So, what I do is I ask you if you would be willing to make a deal with me. And the deal's this. If I give you really good content in the next hour, hour and a half, like really good content, would it be okay if at the end, if I deliver my part, you would allow me a couple of minutes at the end of my talk to tell you about my seminar? How many of you think that that's fair? If I deliver the goods, you'll take a few minutes and listen to what I have. I mean, most people think that that's a pretty fair exchange. Now, the reality is what I sell is Authorpalooza. It's very expensive. It's not for everybody, but it's something that some of you may want. Now, I'm going to show you also that somebody in here is going to get it for free. Anybody want it for free? Anybody? Yeah, I see a whole bunch of people want it for free. Well, it's a phenomenal seminar, and somebody's going to get it for free. So I just want to basically say that I'm going to give you content. The selling part, for those of you who may want to join, can do it later. Sally Ann says that that's fair. Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I want to quickly show you a 1-minute video. This is Rod Smith. Rod is with was with the Denver Broncos. He won 2 Super Bowl rings, and I actually got to try one on. He attended the seminar. I published his book. By the way, all of the books that you're going to see in tonight's presentation are books that I published. And I only publish books for people who attend my training, okay? Because we have a very unique approach. So Rod was one of those guys, and I want you to listen to what he said about the event, and then we'll get into the 8 steps.
Hey guys, 2-time Super Bowl champion and author Rod Smith here. Whether you're playing football or building a business, we all know that coaching is vital to your success. My good friend and mentor, Mr. Jerry Robert, has been a coach and mentor for helping people multiply their business for well over 30 years. And we all know if you want to be the best, you got to get coached by the best. So make sure you do not miss the event with Jerry is hosting. I can tell you right now, it's going to be life-changing. It's going to be an eye-opener. You're going to learn some tips and strategies you could never even think of, but that's why using your coach and your mentor's experience is very vital.
All right. Hey, is your video cameras on? 1, 2, 3, let's see. Who wants it? Okay.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
All right. I think Suzanne. Let's give it to Suzanne. Suzanne, you've got a copy of this book. We'll communicate with you in the chat, and they'll get you a downloadable copy of the book right away. Okay, so you'll have it in about 5 minutes. So that was my little commercial about what I'm offering, and then here's my favorite commercial from television, and then we get right into the 8 steps. Go.
Hey, nice dog. Yeah, this is Piper. You're a bred border collie. Watch this. Piper, fetch. Good boy, Piper. You're such a smart dog. So, what can your dog do? Fergus? Bud Light.
Fresh, smooth, real, Bud Light. It's all here.
Okay, I got a twisted sense of humor. Let's get into this. Hey, I want to show you lots of different covers. I told you that all the books that you see here are people who attended a seminar just like this. And by the way, if you're not seeing my full screen, find where it says Jerry Robert and pin that. There's 3 little buttons at the top, and if you click pin, you may have a better go of it. So you're here. You're not here by accident. Thousands of people were registered to come tonight, and you're here. And all of the people that we attract are people from all over the world, all kinds of industries, people who have never done anything like this in the past, people who have in the coaching business, therapy, speakers, financial planners, real estate agents. And what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to type your profession. Everybody, please do that right now. Go ahead and type in the chat window what it is you do for a living. Let me find out who's here. Teacher, Jerry, hey, welcome. Hey, let's applaud the teachers out there, man. Woo-hoo! IT specialists, school principals, substitute teachers. Oh, good. Marcus is a consultant. Let me just show you here, just so you can see who's coming in here. We've got a journalist, tax preparer, gaming management, psychic advisor, wow, school librarian, retired a healer, Susan. September is a grief specialist, wow. Pest control, Damon. Susan is a home and lifestyle consultant. Look at all these professions. So Lance is a pastor. Hey, I'm a former pastor, Lance. Lance, just wave to me so I can see where you are. Is your video on? Yep, I can't see your face though, dude. There it is. Eyes. Woo, that's scary. Don't go so close, man. Visibly strategist. Look at all these people. So, drug and alcohol. Bazilli. Where's Where's Bazilli? September. Where's September? Let me see September. Wave your hand in front of the camera. September. Yeah. So you're an addictions counselor. I'm also in the program. I've been a friend of Bill W. for 43 years. So we've got a lot of things to cover, and I don't care if you're brand new, if you've never done this before. I don't care on what topic you're writing about. My job here today is to convince you that you can do this, and you most certainly can do this. So critical fact number 4 is this. You have been thinking about writing a book for far too long. I want you to type again in the chat. Type how long you've been thinking about writing a book. Watch this, guys. How long have you been thinking about writing a book? Wait till you see what's going to happen here. Years. But tell me, how many years? Jerry, 2 years. Noah, 9 months. 30 years, Begam. Oh, man. Now, Begam's been to several of our events. I recognize her. Sean, 15 years. Melissa, 3 years. Susan, 3 years. Too long. 10 years, Elizabeth. Oh, my goodness. Yinka, 15 years, man. Marilyn, 10 plus years. iPhone, change your name so I can address you properly. If you're not sure how to do that, just send a text. Danielle, 25 years. Danielle, Jules, 58 years. Terry, where's Terry? I got to see Terry. Who is this guy, Terry? Or is it a guy or a girl? I can't see. Okay. Well, my goodness, you guys have been thinking about this for far too long. And the critical fact, number 4, is you've got to find out what stops you. And there are things that stop you. And so I want to cover those things in this presentation. But it's not easy to do. So just give me a second. I just got to go and reboot something. Let me just go here for a quick second. I just need to reopen a slideshow. And when you find out everything that I know about what a book can do for you, you'll kick yourself for not getting it done sooner. So there are things that stop you, and we're going to address those tonight. Because everywhere I go, I ask people that question. I don't think I had anybody go as long as 58 years yet. But man, if you knew what I knew about publishing a book, you'd get it done next weekend. And so I am going to open the door to publishing and publishing success to you, but I'm not going to open the door like this guy. Watch this. All right, let's get into it. 8 steps to publishing success. Step number 1. This is a critical one. Step number 1 says that you need to analyze the critical 3. So there are 3 things that I want you to analyze before you write one word. The first one is analyze your primary objective. That is, you've got to ask yourself, if your book could only do one thing for you, what would you want it to do? I mean, a book can do all these things, but you got to ask yourself, if it can only do one thing, what would, and then what you do is you let that objective determine what's going to go in the book, how big it's going to be, everything. Like this is Dr. Linder. He wrote he's a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. When I started working with him, he knew exactly who his book, what he wanted his book to do for him. He wanted to use his book as a marketing tool, and he wanted to build his plastic surgery practice with it. And so his primary objective is to get publicity. Look at what happened. I mean, the guy had gotten he's been on Barbara Walters, he's been on Dr. Oz, he's been in Entertainment Tonight, Cosmo Magazine, he's been on People Magazine, everywhere. Why? His practice has gone up 10 times since getting that book. But that's because he analyzed in advance. So if you want to think about it, if you want to differentiate yourself from everybody else in your business, that's your primary objective, you're going to build a book that's going to help you do that. If you're use a book as a lead generator, that is to get leads for your business, well, you make a smaller book. So all of these things need to be thought of before you do anything. The first thing you got to ask yourself is, what's the book going to do for you? The next step is to determine your target population. So part number 2 of our critical 3 is understand who exactly are you going after. Now people say to me all the time, my book is for everybody. Yeah, sure. Get over yourself, man. Hey, maybe everybody could benefit from your book, but you can't sell to everybody. And so the more you know about exactly who you're going after, and remember what I said earlier, right? The money is around the book. So if you want to use a book, for example, to get more speaking engagements, then you've got to build that into your book. Everybody starts with the book. I'm here to tell you that it's much more than the book. And that's what you got to think through first. For example, if your book is primarily for women, maybe it should look different than if it's primarily for men. You see what I'm saying? If you're writing a book primarily for accountants, you better use different language than you write a book for, let's say, salespeople. You see what I'm saying? And most people never think about that. But the big one is this one: the needs, desires, and problems of your target market. So you need to establish what keeps these people up at night. Your target population, your TPOP, I call them. And so listen to this. I think the last time I was with Tony Robbins, I was in Brisbane, and he said something that floored me. He said this. He said, never in the history of the world have people had more access to information than today. And you would agree with that, right? Today, people have access to all kinds of information, more than ever in history. And yet, at the same time, never in the history of the world are more people overwhelmed, depressed, stressed, anxious, medicated, suicidal than today. And he told me that before COVID. And so the reason why this is so important for you is because today people are hurting, man. And your book, if you analyze what is the 8 or 9 biggest needs, desires, and problems of your target market and devoted one chapter to each one of those, you're done. Seriously, this is very, very doable for you, and especially a book that's going to help others. But let me warn you about something. You've got a problem. And the problem is this: you have got the wrong idea of what your book needs to be. See, you think that the book you write has to be perfect. It has to be the best book ever written on the subject. You see, you think that the book you write has to be a world-changing, earth-shattering book. You think it has to be an industry-revolutionizing one. It has to be a personality-altering book. It has to be a history-making book. It has to be an incomprehensibly complicated work of art. It has to be totally original with never-before-heard-of content. A book that's massively sized, masterfully written, in perfect English, a one-of-a-kind book without one single spelling mistake. You see, that's the problem. You think you got to write a Pulitzer Prize winning book, and the one that's this thick. I'm not talking about writing Gone with the Wind, man. Look at these books. These books, look at how big they are. This is all you need. And the thing is, if you have this idea that it's got to be this fabulous, perfect, everything known to mankind about the subject, you'll never get it done. So how big should you write? Look at this. And by the way, there is a handout for today And Hannah, maybe you can type that in the chat. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to download the handout for today where you can fill in the blanks for some of these slides. Hannah will put that in the chat right now. Oh, Jewel said she dealt with Dr. Linder. Wow, isn't that cool? So the handout is there in the chat. It's tinyurl.com, handout 88, and print that off because this is the kind of book I think you should write. 80 to 100 pages. That's 8 to 10 chapters with 8 to 10 pages per chapter. Listen to me. Don't tell me you can't do that. 8 to 10 pages, 8 to 10 times. Of course you can. And so I encourage you to go and get it done. Now, let me see whose videos are on. Who wants to win a copy of my book? Anybody? Who am I going to pick? Kimberly! Kimberly! Right there. Wait, Kimberly. All right, everybody, let's give Kimberly a hand. Let's give her a hand. Woo! All right. Now, I'm encouraging you to turn your video cameras on. I've had people come up to me and say, oh, yeah, make me rich, Jerry. You're sitting there at home and you're flipping through your Facebook, you're watching TV. I saw a guy the other day, he was literally asleep on my webinar. Man, oh man. You see, the problem with this kind of environment is it's so easy to get distracted. The information that I'm giving you today literally changed my life. So I encourage you, keep going. Step number 2, guys, is to use your book as a calling card. Your book is a phenomenal tool, and you need phenomenal tools today to separate yourself from everybody else who does what you do. And so when you use a book, instead of, if you use it the way I'm recommending, like use it as a calling card, man, it instantly brands you with all kinds of credibility. You become seen as an authority figure, as an expert. It's very, very powerful. Have you ever gone to a conference or something where somebody comes up to you and they say, do you know anybody wants to buy insurance? Will you give them a copy of my card or my brochure? What do you do with those cards the minute they turn their head? Of course, gets turfed in the garbage. But if they came to you and said, hey, I wrote this book, let me give you 3 or 4 copies, and if you know anybody wants to buy insurance, would you throw these away? You know you wouldn't. You'd probably gift wrap them and give them to people at Christmas and pretend you bought them. That's what you do. So the reality is it's a great business tool. And given COVID and the need now to separate yourself from everybody else who does what you do, the need to find marketing tools that are going to work in this environment, that's why you want to use a book as a calling card. So one book I wrote was Multiply Your Business. Let me ask you this. So this little book, if I was to print it in your city, and if you're here, it's because I work in your city. I've been all over the world for the past 30 years. I go around 5 or 6 times every year, and I print in all the cities that I speak in. And let me ask you, if you printed 2,000 copies of that book, and let's say you're going to do 2,000 copies, how much do you think per book it would cost you? Just go ahead and type that in the chat. Let me see what people are saying. How much do you think it would cost you per book if you ordered 2,000 books? $10, Danielle says. Nope. $3. Nope. 5. Michelle says 3. Bisley says 5. Nope. Jordana says 15. Nope, nope, nope. $23 September, way off. Do you know what? Do you know if you published this book and you printed 2,000 copies, it cost you 96 cents for that. Think about that. 96 cents. Now just imagine what would happen if you use this as a marketing tool, as a brochure on steroids. It's a fabulous tool. Hey, I want to show you something, by the way. Look at this. So I wrote this book, and I want you to see this. See this book? Look at how much white space is in this book. See this? Look at how much white space there is. Now, I want you to listen carefully. This thing has made me tens of millions of dollars. And you think you have to write Gone with the Wind. Listen, did you see how much white space is in there? 88 pages. And I'm here to tell you that you got to change your idea of what this book needs to be. So you're going to use it as a calling card, as a brochure. The next step is you're going to use your book to generate leads for your business. Every business that I know needs more leads, and that yours is probably no different. You're going to do what Jesse does. He's a financial advisor here in Toronto. He uses his book to get leads for his company. Now, what business doesn't need more leads? I'm telling you, if you can let go of this idea of trying to sell a book, I mean, he's a financial planner, for Pete's sakes. He makes thousands of dollars every time he sells a book. And so it makes sense for him to be willing to let go of the book in order to get leads. And so, do you know, with one event he got his book, and 2 months later, he did an event in Toronto. In that one event, he got more leads for his financial planning business in that one event than he did the entire previous year. So there's no question that it's a fabulous tool to generate leads. And if you go to his website, you would see that the very center pin of his whole website is his book and how he's giving it away. You see, if you're willing to do that, man, you could fill your database with prospects. That's exactly what Lily does, and this is my recommendation to you. You see, I think what you do is Lily is a real estate agent. So what I'm going to ask you to do is do a one-page website like this, and be willing to give people a free copy of your book. Now, what you're going to offer them is a downloadable version of your book. We never say ebook, by the way. Ebook sounds cheap, and what you want to do is give people a downloadable version of your book. She's a real estate agent. She's always appearing in the news. She's always getting publicity. Her business has exploded. She's from Sydney, Australia. See, all of you could do that same thing. How soon could you do that? Well, you could do that tomorrow, because you're not saying the book is out. You're saying the book, when it comes out, you can get on the list. And if somebody's going to give you their name, email, and phone number for a book on your subject, do you not think that they might be interested in your coaching program, be interested in your speaking, be interested in your services? If you're an estate agent, if you're a chiropractor, you write a book on posture. You're a dentist, you want to write a book on how to have a winning smile. So you're going to use your book by creating a one-page website and be willing to give it away. Step number 4 is a critical one, and that is use your book to create multiple sources of income. The minute you write a book, you have access to at least 5 or 6 different additional sources of income. And let me tell you something. The money you could be making right now in COVID, and I want to speak to you folks who've had challenges income-wise because of COVID. Don't buy the idea that you can't make money during COVID. Seriously, now is the best time. Everybody's in front of a computer. Everybody is at home, or most people, or many people are at home. If you're in the helping business, you can be making all kinds of money. Hey, we talk about this all the time. You know this, that the minute you write a book, of course, you could be doing speaking, you could be doing seminars, retreats, and now it's great, by the way, for women who want to do speaking. How many of you here women said you wanted to become a speaker? Let me see your hands. Wow, look at all the hands. You can't see all of this, but just look at, ladies, put your hand up if you want to become a speaker. Now, I can only show you a couple of screens, but look at all that. See, the reality is, are you aware that there's a critical shortage of women speakers today? For every one woman speaker, there are 1,000 male speakers. It's ridiculous. And now the good thing is you can go and speak at these conferences without having to travel. So some of you have got kids, you can't go for 3 or 4 days. I mean, it takes 2 days to fly to Asia. If you now what you could do is do a virtual, a virtual speech, a virtual online course like this. And some of these online events are outperforming our live ones. The virtual ones are outperforming our live ones. You, if you write that book, could take that book and make digital products out of it. You could do webinars, monthly sales, all kinds of things like this to create sources of income. And even if you're, it's like magic. This lady, I gotta share this with you. So again, there's a handout available, and you might want to fill this in the handout if you've printed it off. But one of our authors went to a networking session, and when they found out that she was the author of a book, they asked her to speak for 15 minutes about her book. Wasn't out yet. There was 174 people at that event. She offered a free coaching session. You could see the people lined up there on the side of the wall. So out of the 174 that were there, 50 of them signed up for a free coaching session because she was an author of an upcoming book. Now, what happened, do you think? Only 15 showed up for that Skype call, even though 50 registered. That's just because if it's free, most people don't take it seriously. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but Chris, or somebody, how many people were registered to come to this event tonight?
Over 1,000, Jerry.
Over 1,000 were registered to come to this, and yet we only have a few hundred. Why? Because it's free. If it's free, most people don't have any skin in the game and they don't show up. But 15 did show up for her. Out of those 15 people, she got 7 of them to buy her coaching program. She generated $21,000 in sales from that one speaking engagement. And if you think that was an accident, she did the same thing the following month in Seattle and got about $19,000. And that before her book was even out. So I'm telling you, if you've been struggling with money and you're not making the income you know, I'm telling you, it's right in front of you. A book. All right. Who wants a book? Let's see. Are you getting excited? Let's see here. Okay. Who wants it? Elizabeth, right here. Elizabeth, where did you go? Wave, Elizabeth. All right. All right. Let's give a hand to Elizabeth for doing that. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Hey, that's awesome. A book is on its way to you right now. Hey, step number 5. Am I doing okay? By the way, I don't see you all that much. Am I doing okay? Is everybody okay? Thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Are you all still with me? I see you all there. Just give me a second. I got to try and find all the different, there's so many different rooms going on here. Everybody, are we doing okay? Susan Rotan, I don't see you smiling. Oh, okay, there, good. Michelle, are you going to smile? Ah, you're smiling, good. I respond to smiling faces. I'm a speaker, man. I see Vicky smiling. Who else is smiling here? Katrina, Yinka, okay, good. Well, I see you all there, and I'm happy that you're here. All right, so now let's talk about step number 5. Step number 5 is you're going to use your book as a sales tool. Because in this day and age, we have a big problem in the world. Any of us who sells anything has a trust problem. People today don't trust people who sell things. And the minute you start selling today, the minute people shut down. And so when they see your picture on a book cover, you are no longer a salesperson. Now you're an authority figure. Now you're a trusted expert. And so for that reason, and everybody's in sales selling something. I mean, we've got chiropractors using this. We've got dentists, lawyers, financial planners, coaches, trainers, speakers. A guy who sells furnaces. Because people, when they see your picture on a book, they start to trust you. And in our day and age, I don't think anybody would argue with me that we have a trust issue. Whenever anybody starts selling today, people become very leery. And so I ask people all the time, do you think people are more trusting or less trusting of those of us who sell today? Less trusting. They're more skeptical. They're more demanding. And so if you're using the same marketing strategy you did a year ago, well, no wonder you're going to die. And people think that this is marketing. This isn't marketing, putting your friggin' name card on a board. This is not marketing. This is vomit on a page, man, on a cork board. And if you're using these silly techniques, and if you don't understand how consumers have changed today as opposed to 5 years ago, and now with COVID, it's gone even ballistic. And that's why my book, Multiply Your Business, is so critical, because I've researched the leading consumer mindset on how they view those of us who sell things. And let me tell you, this is a complete waste of time. You see people doing stuff like this. I'm simply the best. Shut up, dude. Who the hell are you? There's a big friggin' banner in the middle of a field. This guy's trying to sell some farmland, and he's telling everybody that he's simply the best. They don't believe that anymore. And so you've got to find a new way to separate yourself from everybody else who does what you do. So if you think about it, let me just go back. So like if you take real estate, for instance, we have a lot of real estate clients. Everybody in the real estate industry does exactly what everybody else in the industry does. They have a name card with a picture and a logo. Name card, picture, and a logo. You know in Toronto there's 52,000 real estate agents? So you got to find a way to separate yourself from the sea of sameness. A book will do it just like that. That's what Lena does. You know, she's a real estate agent. She can make tens of thousands of dollars. And let me tell you something. If you were going to sell your house or buy a house, would you buy it from somebody who wrote a book or somebody who's got a pretty card? Do you see what I'm saying? So a book gives credibility. And what we recommend, as soon as the book comes out, before you have an appointment with somebody, send it to them for free. When somebody gets a book in the mail today, my goodness, they're floored. And you instantly separate yourself from everybody else. Well, step number 6 is use your book to get a position of authority, and use that position of authority to get free publicity. Now this, you got to pay attention to this step. This is Alexander Wu. He's a mortgage broker from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Dude is always on the radio, TV, and newspaper. Like he's in his 20s. He had never done anything of note before, but I showed him how to use that book, and here's the critical factor. When you get publicity, and I know you don't think you're going to get a book because you're thinking, who's going to want to read a book by me and who's going to give me publicity? Shut up. Listen to me. All kinds of people. Do you know that there's a need for 10,000 radio interviews per day just in America? Who do they pick? They pick authors, people like Alexander, people like you. And his mortgage company has gone ballistic because he uses publicity. Now the key is this, and write this down. Always offer a free downloadable copy of your book. But don't ask the radio host or the interviewer if you can do that. You just say it. Everybody who's listening, I'll give them a free copy of my book because people respond to that. You see even here. And let me tell you, if you're new and you've never achieved much, you never get any publicity, let me encourage you about Cynthia Barnett. She's a retired school teacher in Norwalk, Connecticut. She had retired as a coach, as a teacher, and became a life coach. And all of a sudden, she wrote this little book. Look at this; it's 88 pages. I got her into Time magazine before that book was even out, man. I could share with you hundreds and hundreds of examples on all kinds of topics all over the world. This is a lady in Singapore, holistic health. So those of you who are writing on holistic issues. This is interesting. This is Caroline from Amsterdam. Caroline is a pain sufferer. She got tremendous pain. She wrote a book called The Pain Dance. She's always on TV and radio. She's never done any of this before. And she's a therapist now. And I could just go on every day. There's Alexander. People do this all over the world. People who have never done anything in their past, using books to get publicity. Now, the reason it works so well, is you got to be willing to give away a downloadable copy and capture people's name, emails, and phone numbers. Well, step number 7 has to do with funding. Because I'm recommending that you self-publish your book. Don't try and find a publisher today. That's a waste of time. You don't need an agent. You don't try and find a publisher. You self-publish your book. The publishing world, I don't know if you know this or not, is in major decline. Phew. And I know what I'm talking about. I've been in the publishing business for 20 years. My book publishing company, Black Card Books, is the fastest growing book publisher on the planet, based on title acquisition. And so I can tell you that the publishing world is in decline. So you should self-publish it. You know, if you go with a traditional publisher, for every one that they take on, they reject 3,000 to 5,000 today. So forget that. You should do it yourself, but it costs money to do it yourself. What if you could find the money from other people? Anybody interested in finding out how to get other people to pay for all the costs? Yes. Well, that's exactly what you should do. And how you're going to do that, one of the ways, and we teach 6 ways, but one of the ways is to sell ads in the back of the book. So if you look at this, for example, these are, you could easily spend, by the time you pay for cover design, you pay for layout and editing and printing and all the marketing stuff, you could easily spend $15,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 if you self-publish it. But what if I showed you how to get other people to pay that cost for you? We have people routinely bring in $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 before the book is even out. And so one of the things you're going to do is you're going to sell a few ads in the back of the book. And let me show you a couple of examples here. I'm just going to pick a couple of books that are lying around. So this is Andrea's book. She's from Romania, and she was able to sell a few ads in the back of the book, 4 or 5 ads, and it paid for all of the costs associated with funding all this. So everybody can do that. Why? Because there are people that you're going after that other companies are currently paying money to try and go after those people. And if you sell an ad, you tell them if they buy 100 copies of your book, listen to this, which they can resell and recoup all their money. But their ad is in your book forever. Now you do that, it'll pay for all the costs. You just need 4 or 5 of them to do that. And this came to me, I'll give you, a good example is this is one of our authors, Larry Marshall, wrote a book called It's Your Wedding, on how to plan a wedding. And so we ask, who wants to get in front of people who are getting married? Why don't you type in the chat, type, what kind of companies do you think want to get in front of people who are planning to get married? His book is on about themes and wedding vows and how to, wedding samples. Look at that. Yeah. So you got it, guys. So that's exactly what we did. He went after a florist, a cake decorator, a photographer, and that's exactly what we did. We went and found those people, and they all bought an ad in the back of the book, and it funded the whole thing. And so if you're here, you all have a target population. You're all going after. What you need to do is just go and sell a few ads in the back of the book, and it'll pay for everything. That is genius. And the fact is, if they buy books from you and they could sell the book, like just look at this florist. If you gave her 100 books on wedding, how to plan a wedding, and she sold those books in her store, she would recoup all the money for advertising. You know what that's called? That's called self-funding marketing campaign. You've got to do this. And once you get the money and you pay for everything, it feels wonderful. And money will, make you happier anyway.
Nou, dit is dus de huiskamer. En dan komen we hier bij de slaapkamer. Oh ja. Met...
So who says money won't make you happy? Hey, all right. Oh, another book giveaway. Who wants a book? Let me just see here. I'm just going to do this real quick this time. Who's got their cameras on? Somebody's willing to get excited. Marcus! There's Marcus. Hey, you see Marcus right here. Marcus, wave like this. Put your hand right in the camera so people can see. Do you see him here, Anna? Marcus, you just won a copy of Millionaire Mindset, my friend. Let's give him a big hand, everybody. Woo! Good going, buddy. All right, you can see my setup a little bit here, too. Okay, step number 8. It's critical. It's so important. In fact, let me just write something down here. How many of you, one second. How many of you here would say to me that at this stage in our discussion, how many of you feel that you're more confident at this particular moment than you were when you came in here, and you're more committed to getting this book out? Let me raise your hand like this. Put your hand in front of the screen like this, and let me know if you're more confident. Look at the screen, everybody. I want you to look at all the hands. Almost everybody. Brian didn't put his hand up. I don't know why he's there. He is. Marcus, stay with me here. You're typing. Okay, so everybody is more confident, right? I always ask at this stage, how many of you are more confident? How many of you are committed? Every hand goes up. Let me give you some bad news. And I've been doing this for 30 years. Even though you put your hand up, most people will never, ever complete this task. I'm sorry to be honest with you, but I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Now, you might say, well, I thought the guy was a motivational speaker. I'm feeling pretty demotivated at the moment. I'm just telling you based on what I know. If you don't deal with this, if you don't deal with the obstacles that stop you, man, forget it. This book will never happen. And there's belief systems, there's paradigms running in your life, and you're not even aware of them. And they control you, those belief systems, those paradigms, those habitual ways of thinking. In fact, I know some of you have some of these paradigms. In fact, I gave you all a test a few minutes ago. Now, you don't know that I gave you a test, but I gave you a test, and almost everybody failed the test. You see, when I asked you, how long have you been thinking about writing a book? And I got 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 58 years. And my goodness, as I look around this room, some of you don't have that many decades left, man. And you've got a paradigm that says delay. Put it off. I call this the paradigm of postponement. You've got a program running inside your head that says do it later. Like for 58 years, Terry's been thinking about it. And everybody says, I'll do it later. Like when COVID goes away, then I'll write a book. It's already October, it's too late to do it this year. I'm going to do it in 2021, I'm doing a book. People always figure it out. Oh, when I get more money, when I get a degree, when I get more accomplishments, when I find a husband, when I get rid of a husband, there's always something that stops them. You know why? My buddy T. Harv Eker said it. Any of you know T. Harv Eker? He said this, and you should write this down if you're taking notes. How you do anything is how you do everything. And for some of you, you've got this paradigm of always postponing this. You have been delaying this book for decades. You got to get control of it. And if you don't, you think listening to me for an hour or two is going to help? It's going to just increase your frustration. You see, you got to find out what blocks you. And different people have different blocks. I talk to people all the time, and some of you have blocks around feeling unworthy. Like I've published thousands and thousands of books. Hundreds of thousands of people have attended my events. And you know one thing that most people have, and I know that that's true because I've been doing this for 30 years, but more importantly because I suffered from it. You know what I suffered from? Who's going to want to read my book? Come on, it's just me. So you have got a paradigm, a belief system. Remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. You're going to do this in all areas of your life. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to use these paradigms. And so the paradigm of discounting yourself is a very real one. And if you listen to me and let go of the notion of having to make your book the best book ever written, and you just write your story, you write what advice you have, based on where you are. You don't need any more credentials. You don't need any more expertise. You don't need any degrees. Just based on what you've been through already is good enough. You got to overcome these blocks. Everybody has them. People have blocks around thinking negative, listening to the wrong people. Man, if you've got negative people listening to you, always putting you down, you got to get rid of those people, man. Sometimes it's a little tough if you're married to them, but sometimes you got to get rid of them. And I don't mean get rid of them, just so you know we're clear. I'm not saying shoot them. I'm just saying don't go over as often and don't stay as long when you do. Because I'm telling you, if you don't deal with those blocks, this book will never happen for you. And it's got to happen. So one thing that you could understand is what Tony said. He said, and this was critical. I had heard this so many times, but it never struck me until it really did. And then, man, he said this. In life, you don't get your goals, man. You get your musts. It's only when you say, absolutely, this is going to happen. I am tired of going to seminars and nothing's changing. If you make your book a must, you put a line in the sand, you put some skin in the game, you get other people to hold you accountable, you get somebody to kick your ass. I mean, if you make it a must, you'll get it done. And if you think I'm kidding, listen to this. Just imagine this. Like, how many of you here really want to get your books done this year? Come on, let me see your hands. Everybody, you really, you know you're not here by accident. You know you've got to get it done. Kimberly, I see your hand. September, I see you. Jerry, I can just see your hand. But I see Barbara, I see Mackie, I see Bisley, I see Colette, I see Angela, Antonia, Joraz, I see Yinka, I see all you folks. So you've got to get these books out, right, Danielle? Well, listen to me. If you got to get the books out, you've got to make it a must. You know, one thing you could do, and just let me show you this. Just see if I'm right. If you change your mindset, this book's going to come out. So watch this. The thing is, most of you haven't decided. So let's just say you decided tonight you're going to get this book. And let's say you were really serious. You want to know how to get it done? Thank you, Tate. She says, I've decided. You want to know how to make sure and guarantee this book comes out? Take $10,000. Seriously, take $10,000 and go and give it to somebody. And tell that person that if you don't deliver that book in 3 months, they can keep that $10,000. Would you get your book done? You damn sure will, don't you know? Why? Because you've got skin in the game. The thing is, most of you have got no skin in the game. You've not made a decision. Now, I'd be happy to be that person if you want to send the 10,000. But you understand the point of what I'm making here. I'm telling you that if you make something a must, it gets done. The problem is most people don't. So, where are we at? Well, we look at all of this and we start thinking, well, these are 8 steps. Whoops, let me back up. These are 8 powerful steps you could use and take a screenshot of this, those of you who can, or take a picture of this. These are the 8 steps. And you could use these. Some of you have been struggling with money for ages. Some of you have been looking to impact other people. Some of you know you should become a speaker. Some of you know you've been put here on this earth. Your purpose is to help other people overcome the things that you've overcome. Now's your time. Use these 8 steps. And if you're willing to do that, this book will come out. And the impact you will have will blow your mind. Now, I said that I would give everybody a gift, and look at the gift I'm about to give you, because all of you stayed here, and thank you very much for doing that. I have a worksheet on how to write a book in 40 hours. I want to give that to you. So you have to go to this URL. Maybe, Hannah, you could type that in the chat. There, if you are on a PC, you could download the Excel version, or if you're in a Mac, you can get the numbers version. This is a critical tool that we use to get books written in 40 hours. There's instructions in there, and the URLs are in the chat. You see them there. Tiny URL, WAB, which stands for Write a Book for PC, if you're using Excel, or if you want a numbers spreadsheet program, you can get it there. It's in the chat. And there's instructions. One of the tabs at the top will tell you exactly how to fill in. And it's all linked. There's several pages. There's one for each chapter. And you just click on it. You type right into the form. It's a great tool. And it's a way for me to thank you for coming to this event. And I guess I got to ask you now, and let me make sure I do. Let me ask you this. Have I delivered at least one or two good ideas as part of our deal? How many of you, let me see your hands, if you've gotten a couple of good ideas that'll help you? Let me see. All right, so we had a deal, and the deal was I could talk about my event for a little bit. I'm going to give it for free. Now, I want to say something right off the bat about the cost. Somebody's going to get it for free, but I know it's expensive. But the reality is, if you could get one extra customer, if you're a coach and you could get one extra coaching client a month. If you can do speaking, do seminars. If you're a car salesperson or a therapist, I'm telling you, this is incredible. But don't worry about the payment plan, September. Listen, somebody's going to get it for free. So let me tell you quickly what this is, when it's going to happen. By the way, I didn't do this. Let me just back up. So here's the dates: October 23. 24 and 25. Now, I am doing one tonight in about 3 hours, 3 a.m., so that's about 4 hours from now, but that's not one I'm expecting you to come to, because many of you, or if not most of you, are on the west coast of Canada. So, you will, September 23, 24, 25. It's a Friday night, a Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm going to give you the times in a minute. I'm going to give you the time zones, but it's an online interactive event. It's much different than what you're seeing here. See, what you're seeing here is just me talking. But in this event, it's virtual. Now we go and talk to each other. You go into breakout rooms. It's incredible. There's games, there's exercises, and it's a Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. So you might want to take a screenshot of this. These are the hours, right? So Los Angeles, or the Pacific Standard Time, is our host time zone. And so it's going to be based on that location. So Friday night from 7 to 10. Saturday from 9 to 6. And Sunday from 9 to 4. In Calgary, is Calgary the same time zone as Edmonton, I believe? Sally Ann? So just look at the time zones there. So the time zone is all going to be based on Vancouver or Los Angeles, 7 to 9. You just gotta convert it. So Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. Now, what do you learn at this event? Well, there are 5 modules. Let me just go back here for a quick second. By the way, hey, if you cannot attend today, I'm going to give you a special deal in just a minute, and I'm going to give you 5 bonuses. If you purchase today, you will be able, if you can't come to the one in October, you can come to any one I do over the next year. So I do 1 or 2 of these a month. And so if you can't come to this one, you come to another. But if you sign up today, you get all of the prices. Okay, what do you cover? Let me cover it quickly. This is all based on my book, Publish a Book and Grow Rich. There are 5 modules. The first one is Plan It. So I'm going to show you on Friday night what is the best book to start off with. Because just because you want to get a book doesn't mean you're going to make a lot of money. It needs to be done strategically. So I have a 3-step system on how to pick the right book for you. That's on Friday night. Then we tackle the mindset, because I can give you the whole roadmap, but if you don't deal with the mindset issues, you're never going to get this book done. Then on Saturday morning, we start with Write It. And get this, I show you how to write a book in 40 hours. 40 hours. Somebody said to me the other day, how can you write a book in 40 hours? Shut up, I said. Just because you don't know how to do something doesn't mean it can't be done. I've got hundreds and hundreds of examples of people who've done it. People just like you who attended a training and got their books done. And so you will be blown away. If you've ever struggled with writing a book, listen, by noon, it's over on Saturday. It's an incredible system. Then we talk about funding it, because it costs money to do this. And I'm going to introduce you to people like Mary Beth Haynes, who wrote this book on pets. And it's about grieving once a pet dies. Like, she brought in $65,000 before her book even came out. And she had 0 sales experience, and she worked full time. So, I have thousands of people who brought in tens of thousands before the book came out. And I'm going to show you how to do it. We had one person raise $178,000 before the book came out. So it costs money to do this. And so I want to show you 6 methods on how you can fund your book. You're going to love it. Next, publish it. So I'm recommending self-publishing. Well, where do you get it published? Where do you get it done for 96 cents? What about copyright? What about cover, title design? All the things related, ISBN numbers, all that sort of technical stuff is done on Sunday. Then move it. So getting the book is easy. Getting rid of it, that's the challenge. And so we're going to cover that on Sunday. There are 3 main strategies that we attack, which is joint ventures. So how do you sell your book by the truckload? By joint venturing with big companies. Then I'm going to show you how to use a book to become a speaker. Do you know I'm one of the top 20 highest paid speakers on the planet? I bring in tens of millions speaking. So I know a thing or two about the speaking business. I'm going to show you how to move books through speaking. And then now, through COVID, it's easy. You know what? When people are asleep, it's easy to win. And right now, most people are asleep. So I'm going to show you how to use joint ventures. I'm going to show you how to do speaking engagements. And I'm going to show you how to get free publicity. And it's very practical. You'll get everything you need, all of the information. And there's also pre-class assignments, so we have videos to teach you before you even get to the class. Once you get to the class, there's a dashboard where we have all kinds of downloads and workbooks and all kinds of stuff. All right, so that is the event. I'd love you to come. Again, I know it's not for everybody, but I do have bonuses. If you're willing to take action today, I've got 5 ethical bribes. The first one is I'm going to give you a 30-day post-event swag bag. So that means we're going to send you a digital swag bag with over $1,000 worth of value. These are special training, special reports, templates, videos, all kinds of things that you're going to need to get this book done. The other bonus, number 2, is you're going to be able to re-attend one more Authorpalooza event within the next 12 months. So you come to one and then come back again a few months later to keep you going and keep you motivated. But this next thing is going to blow your mind. And that is, we're going to give everybody, send you a physical author swag box. Let me show you this. So you're going to receive a box like this, and this box is our toolbox for you. And so you will get all kinds of goodies in here. Well, there's a hat for you. It even says author on the back. There is, of course, everybody needs to stay caffeinated. So there's all kinds of goodies depending on how you attend. There is a door knocker, so you know, because you're going to be in class for several hours, not Monday to Friday to Sunday. So you're going to put this on your door. It says, "Do not disturb author at work." So you'll get that. You'll get a sticker that you can put on your car or on your computer. Author of an upcoming book. You're going to get that. You're going to get these emoji sticks, which we love for everybody to be in contact with us, and you know, we use those in these events. We have several sponsors, and the sponsors have given several trainings, free trainings for you, free gifts, things like mouse pads, and there's even a USB stick. Now this is absolutely critical. It's a magic trick for your publicity. And I'm going to show you how one lady brought in $5,100 using this. One little thing like this. Our sponsors are giving this to you in here. You get, again, there's pads and all kinds of different information. There's also a full guide to starting. So we walk you through step by step everything you need to get this thing done. And it's a quick start guide. It'll show you exactly what to do, where to find everything. And you get all of that. There's no hidden cost. There's no shipping or handling or anything. You'll get all of that. In addition to that, guess what? We will also give you physical books. So what that means is you will get a copy of the workbook for the event. And again, this is color. You're getting a physical copy of this. All of the exercises, all of the examples, all of the tutorials, the templates, the scripts, all of the training material is all here. We're going to send that to you. We will send you a copy of Multiply Your Business. Can you hear me now? Yes. Can you hear me? Hannah? Yes.
Yes, Jerry.
You're back, Jerry.
Okay, good. So, you see, when you're prepared, I've got all kinds of batteries right here. Anyway, so we're also going to send you a copy of Publish Your Book and Grow Rich. And it has all of the 5 modules. It's a 4-color glossy book with all the information, all the additional research that I used. You get samples, you get instructions, you get step-by-step guides. Everything is in here. And you're going to get that as well. And there's no shipping or handling. It all comes in that swag box. All right. The last thing that you're going to receive is a kick in the ass. And let me tell you something. Some of you need a kick in the ass. Terry, are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? If you've been thinking about this book for, how long? Pat, how long have you been thinking about this book? Mackie, how long have you been thinking about it? Meme, Katrina, Gordana, Marcus. I look at all you wonderful folks. Selena, Suzanne, Jerry, Daniela. How long have you been thinking about it? You see, what some of you need is accountability. You need to have somebody who is going to tell you the truth. And if you want me as a coach, I'm not an easy guy, but I'll tell you something, you're going to get things done. And so we formed an online group, and it's an accountability group, and you'll get access to that as well. So if you look at all this, Of course, I could sell all of these things for $5,000-$6,000. I'm not. I'm selling it for $24.95 US dollars, by the way. Now, let me ask you this. If you look at all of this, and you were to look at getting all of this, if I think it's reasonable. This is a business seminar. But let me ask you this. Would anybody here be interested in getting this for free? Anybody? Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Who wants it for free? Wow! Who wants it for free? Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so I see Michelle. Michelle, do you see Michelle right there? Hold on, Michelle, let me just go like this. See if this works. Spotlight for everyone. There's Michelle. Michelle, you can come for free. Michelle, you get the whole thing, everything that I've said, you get it all for free. Let's give her a big hand. Everybody, let's give her a big hand. Woo! Congratulations. Congratulations. You've got it all for free. All right. So, now what I want to do is So now you got it for free. So let me ask you, I just need to go back and I got to figure out a way to stop the sharing. Is it over here? Yeah, 1 second. It's your lucky day. All right, I'm happy you're able to come. Now you got to put this thing into practice, I'll tell you that. Let me just see. I got to figure out how to stop sharing this window. Remove spotlight. Okay. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put you back, and then let's go into speaker gallery. Okay, now listen to me. I'm going to give you one more chance to see who wants this for free. Let me pick somebody else. All right. I am going to pick Yanka. Where is Yinka? Where is Yinka? Just go ahead and show me your Yinka. Where did Yinka disappear to? Where's your hand? I need to see you. Yinka. Where did she disappear to? She didn't turn off her video camera. There she is. All right, right there. So everybody, let's give her a hand. Let's give her a big hand. You can come for free. Woo! All right. Well, let me ask you all something. I'm feeling particularly generous. Who else wants to get everything I've said for free? Come on, let me see some noise. I need to see if you're serious. Do you want it for free? Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. Everybody can come for free. My company is going to underwrite the whole thing. Black Card Books is going to underwrite the whole friggin' thing, and you can all come for free. So if you're excited about that, let's again, I think it's time maybe to make a little noise. Everybody comes for free. Everybody.
Head out on the highway.
So now, people say to me, you mean everything that you mention is free? Yep. Come on, people say, what's the catch? I know some of you are really skeptical and you're wondering what's the catch. There is no catch. This is being underwritten by Black Card Books, my book publishing company. And the reality is, I am one of the owners of the company that does all these giant seminars with Tony Robbins and Robert Kiyosaki and Gary Vaynerchuk and Rachel Hollis and all those guys. And so you've been to those events, and I want to thank you for coming to those and supporting them so you can all come to this for free. But the other reality is my company, Black Card Books, is underwriting this. And so we find authors. All of these books that you see me holding up are people who have attended our boot camp, and we publish their books. And so as a way of finding authors, we want you to come to this, and you can all come for free. So just to reiterate this offer, and then we'll be done in a few minutes. You can get everything for free. Now, I want to ask you something. I have to pay for all of the swag boxes, the books. I got to ship them. I've got to pay for all the staff and all the technology and stuff. Let me ask Yinka. Where is Yinka? Let me go back now. I just need to go over here 1 second. Where's Yinka? Where did I see Yinka? Yinka. And who was the other person who got it for free? Yinka. Okay, so Yinka, let me ask you this. I see you there. Who is the other person? Well, let me ask all of you. How many of you think it would be worth it for you to get all of this? But the reality is, since I've got to pay all those costs, would you be willing, Yinka, to get all of that if I charged a small $98 materials fee? Look at her. Just look at her, by the way. Yinka is giving me thumbs up. Who else is giving me thumbs up? Let me see. Who else is saying yes for $98 to get all of that? And why am I asking for $98? Listen, it's going to cost me more than $98 to deliver all this to you. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that you've got some skin in the game. You know, if I offered this for free, and there's no way, if you don't think, after spending a couple of hours with me, if you don't think I know enough about what I'm going to teach you, to spend 2.5 days with me, get all of this book, these material, me for paying all the costs, there's no hidden costs or nothing. If you don't think this is worth $98, then this is not for you. But every one of you can come for free. The training is free. I just want you to have a little bit of skin in the game. I told you there was over 1,000 people registered for tonight, but only you showed up. And so if you're willing to pay a $98 materials fee or a participation fee, you call it whatever you want, you get everything for free. Now, I do have a VIP experience because there are some people who say, you know, I want to come as a VIP. But understand this, you don't have to choose the VIP ticket. For $98, you get everything I mentioned. So write this URL down because you're going. I see Danielle says, I'm going. Yinka said, I've paid for this course before 3 years ago. Oh, great. So write down this URL, tinyurl.com, yes to me 88. And if you do that right now, you can get everything for $98. There are some of you who feel like a VIP. Anybody here feel like a VIP? Anybody? Anybody wants to get treated like a VIP? Now, I don't see some hands now. You're all, so give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're here. Okay. Well, again, you don't have to buy a VIP ticket, but if you feel like a VIP and you want to get treated like a VIP, if you want additional bonuses, look at what comes with the VIP ticket. So not only will you get the swag box, but you're going to get a VIP swag. It has more stuff in it. You're going to get a VIP members only kick in the butt online session with our team after the event. You're going to be able to access the VIP lounge. You'll have an event later called the Hangout with me, where you can ask me any question after the event. You're going to get publishing roundtables every month. And get this, you're going to get a 60-minute one-on-one coaching conversation with my coaches. And these people are like incredibly talented. They travel with me all over the world. Many of them, most of them started off as customers. Then, and this is the main reason, most people choose VIP because you're going to get the videos for the entire weekend. So you'll be able to revisit those for a year. And there's one final other bonus. I will design your front cover like this for your book. So you will, September seems to like that idea. You will get a copy. We will design that. I have designers on my payroll, and we will design a front cover so you can have a front cover just like this if you decide to choose a VIP ticket. Now, the question on everybody's mind is, how much is the VIP? Well, I could easily sell that for $500. I'm not. If you are an action taker, you can get everything that I mentioned. I mean, everything. All of the stuff, all the swag box, the books, everything. And it's not $488. If you sign up today, $288. $288, man, including 1 year of access to the videos, and you will design your cover. For $288 to design a cover like this, just that in and of itself, but you get 2.5 days with me, you get all these other things. So, if this is something you want, and listen, $288 for VIP, trust me, it'll be a worthwhile investment. $288, you sell 10 books and this thing's paid for. So step up and treat yourself and let the world know that you're serious about getting this book. The more money you put in, you know the skin in the game gets you to act. So if you want a VIP access, the entire thing is $288. This is US dollars, by the way, and you got to act now. So if you want that, you get everything. Go to Yes to Me, tinyurl.com, Yes to Me. It's $98 for a VIP, for a general ticket, and VIP ticket is $288. But wait, wait, there's more. I'm going to throw in some Ginsu knives. No, I'm not. But I am going to do this. Sorry, I'm going to do this. If you're willing to act in the next 30 minutes, and this next two things, if you don't buy in the next 30 minutes, it's gone. If you do it now, go to that website, I will give you 1 year of email coaching. This is even with a general ticket, either one. I'll give you 1 year of email coaching, unlimited. And if you choose the VIP ticket, you're going to get a one-on-one session with our publishing consultants. And it won't be as long as the VIP for sure, but you have to take advantage of that in the next 30 minutes. And so there's no other hidden cost, just in case you're wondering. Let me just back this up a little bit. There's no hidden cost. There's no other any other cost. There's no surprises. There's no shipping. I mean, it's nothing. You pay a one-time materials fee. People say, do you mean to say I can come to all the trainings for 2.5 days for $98? Yep. I'm telling you, it's underwritten by the company. What if I can't attend that seminar? You know, if you're not available on the 23rd or so, if you're not available, this offer for free with just the materials fee, I probably got to come up with a better term for that, but I want you to show me that you're serious. And so all of that, what I'm promising today, you get for $98 or $288. It's good for a year, even if you can't attend. I do this once or twice a month, so you have no problem. What if I don't know what to write about? Some people say, I don't know what to write about. Listen, we're going to figure that out on Friday night. People say to me, sometimes they tell me, I don't even have a business. I don't know. I've never done a speech before. I don't know how to sell seminar. Listen, we're going to talk about the business around your book on Saturday. So don't let that stop you. We're going to figure out exactly how you get this thing to work for you. People say, I don't feel qualified. Like, should I attend? I wrote my first book when I was broke. I was 24 years old, and I knew that I needed a book, and it changed my whole life. So you come, even if you don't feel qualified. People say, do I really get everything for $98? Yes, or $288. I think most people are going to go for the $288. You get everything. There's no catch. There's no surprises. It's the real deal. And let me tell you something. I am the real deal. There's got to be a reason why people like Tony Robbins asked me to open for him all over the world. People like Gary Vaynerchuk, Lisa Nichols, Rachel Hollis, Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, T. Harv Eker, Mark Victor Hansen, Bob Proctor, all these guys. Why? Because I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but I know a lot about this. And if you're willing to get off the couch, if you're willing to take some action, I want to support you. Now, the question is, why should we go with VIP? Now, I'm telling you, it's because of the value. We provide so much more value as a VIP. But just think about this. Like if I was to ask you, type in the chat, why you think VIP makes more sense to people. Some of you are going to type. Somebody says they can't see Jerry. I'm not sure why you can't see me. I see me. But I'd like you to type in the window why you think it makes sense to go with a VIP. Well, let me just show you some of those things. I'm seeing here. Danielle says, I'm going to get my card. Good. You can get the cover design itself is worth more than this. Yeah. But then you get all, but you're all missing the point here. Colette says one-on-one coaching. That's good. Meme says, I would spend that on the cover anyway. You're missing it. Come on, guys. There's another reason why why you should choose VIP and none of you are getting it. Exclusivity. Yeah, I think that's part of it, but that's not. Renee says you get everything. Yep, that's not. Bam! September said it. September, you got it because I am worth it. Because I am worth it. And frankly, you got to ask yourself, at what point are you going to start treating yourself the way you should be treated? And for $288, I'm telling you, it's going to increase your retention. It's going to increase your ability to show up by 4 or 5 times just by paying a little bit more money. And so it's skin. It's skin in the game, as Reveille says. And so I want you to come as a VIP. Now, you don't have to. You can choose the $98 option. But let me tell you something. September hit it right on the head. You're worth it. So step up. Is it a good seminar? It's a freaking incredible seminar. And I got proof. Watch this.
And as far as the workshop, I thought it was horrible. Especially the part where he told me how to do everything so that I don't have to figure anything out. I thought that was really, he took the struggle out of it for me. I hate that. I hate knowing how to do everything now. It's too easy. I quit.
I told you it's a great seminar, but I want to end with a story, and then I'll be done. So, when I started on my journey, my financial mentor told me that he could help me make in a month what I used to make in a year. And so I was very keen to learn what he was going to teach me. And he said that in order for me to change my mindset, I should go and get trained by him. I said, how much was it? He said $7,500. I couldn't believe it. $7,500. But I decided to go, and one of the main reasons I decided to go was that his mentor, this guy, Leland Van Valderwal, we called him Val, he was going to come and speak to us. His mentor, the guy who turned my mentor on, was coming there, and he rarely spoke anymore. He's old. Within 5 minutes of him getting up there to speak to us, and just remember, we all paid $7,500 to go there. He called us all idiots. Seriously. He looked us all in the eye and he said, listen, you all paid $7,500 to come here. And most of you won't do a damn thing with what you learned today. And I thought, oh my goodness, that might be true of everybody else here, but it's not true of me. If you tell me to do something, I would do it. And I'm telling you, everything changed after listening to him. Because, you know what? He was tough. He was tough on me. Why? Because of this philosophy and sort of the way I operate today. The degree to which a person can grow, look at this. Take a screenshot of this. The degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth they can accept about themselves without running away. Let me tell you something. If you want to get me as a coach, I'm going to be tough. And one of the ways I'm going to be tough is I'm going to remind you of where you're at. You've been thinking about this for far too long. You're controlled by paradigms like postponement. Do it later. Always later, always later. I don't know what else I could do, possibly, to get you to move. You've got to overcome the paradigm. You've got to stop just listening to speakers. You've got to start doing. and if you're willing and you're able to handle the truth, if you're able to step off the nail, then this offer that I'm making you here is the best thing that's ever happened. And let me just reiterate what the offer is. By going to this URL, you can buy a $288 VIP ticket or a $98 ticket. There's no shipping, there's no handling, there's no other fees, nothing. You'll get 2.5 days with me. I'm doing all the training. It's all virtual and online. You will get that swag box that I told you about. It'll be shipped directly to your house. Colette said, I found my mentor. Suzanne saying, have you seen I've purchased VIP. Good for you. You get the swag box. You get the physical books. Like physical books I'm sending to you. You get the Kick in the Butt group. The online Kick in the Butt group. You're able to re-attend for a year. You get the digital swag bag 30 days after the event. And if you're willing to act right now in the next 30 minutes, you'll get 1 year of email coaching. And you're going to get a coaching session with our team. You can upgrade to VIP. September is just asking. If you've got questions, put them in the chat and our team will answer them. So you get absolutely everything that I mentioned here, but I'm only giving you 30 minutes. And so I hope that you decide for yourself. I really encourage you to choose the VIP option. You'll see once you come in there. Most of these people who signed up and whose books are published all came in as VIP. You deserve it. Not only that, I want you to know and think about the people that you're going to help. My book has literally saved people's lives. You're going to help save a company. You're going to save a family. You're going to save a marriage. You're going to help people enjoy a better life. Do it for them. Colette just said, I signed up as a VIP. Sally Ann just said she signed up as a VIP package too. And so people are acting. People are moving. And so as soon as you do it, I want you to come back in here and type in the chat that you've done it. Let me know that you've done it. You've got 30 minutes. And I want you to type in the chat, those of you who've done it. As soon as it's done, you're going to go to this URL up here. You're going to go to this URL and take action. We take credit cards, there's PayPal, there's give us your firstborn child, anything. I want you there. Colette says, I've signed up as VIP. Suzanne confirmed VIP. Come on, I need you to step up. And so the webinar today is ended. I've had a great time. I hope you have. It's like 12 o'clock midnight now. I'm going to go get 2 or 3 hours sleep, and then I'm going to do the Authorpalooza for my friends and customers in Europe or in Australia. Audrey's asking if she could use her daughter as a down payment. Listen, you're going to spend $98 on friggin' Starbucks next month, so get there. Danielle says, done. Thank you. Tate, I'm seeing people register all over the place. And somebody said they need a couple of days. Katrina, you go and let our team know, because you've got to take action within the next 30 minutes. So if you're not sure, just type in the chat. Yinka is asking, Chris is asking, can she take the, just one sec, where did Yinka go to? Yinka is asking, can I join the Authorpalooza tonight? Chris, can you respond to Yinka? I don't mind. The thing is, it's going to be in the middle of the night. I don't know where you live, Yinka, but if any of you want to join tonight, it'll be on from, I think, 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock. So somebody's saying you need more time. You don't need more time. You need to make a decision, but you need to talk to our team. September, registered. She wants to upgrade to VIP, Chris. Make that happen. Colette says, you love my coaching style. Well, thank you very much. I have fun with this. My purpose is this, because I know you're going to touch people that I'll never be able to touch, and that's what I want you to do. So the timer is going to go on. You're going to have 30 minutes to decide. If you've got questions, you go into the chat below. Our team will help answer your questions. Suzanne says, I'm VIP now. Wonderful. The rest of you, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's stay in touch. God bless you. Talk to you soon. Here comes the timer.
Said our hustle's work is never through. We making it 'cause we making moves. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know how to do. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job.
Come on, baby, and drop it. Scrub the floor and just mop it. Show these gangsters how you pop lock it. Don't care what you got in your pocket. I beat the way that you rock it. Put that bang, bang, girl, stop it. Wanna just bang, bang, and pop it. While the club crowd are just watching you work it out. Gotta gain the cash and it's going all on the ball. And it's going fast 'cause I feel like a superstar. And you may not have it, I might have just broke the law. It's your turn to grab it and I make this whole thing yours.
Said our hustle's work is never through. We making it 'cause we making moves. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know a diamond. So shine bright tonight, you and I.
Hey folks, just want to check in with everybody, let you know that we're answering questions as fast as we can in the chat. We'll get through them very quickly. We have a team of folks working on those questions, so keep them coming in. If you have any, please. Be aware of the timer on the screen, 23 minutes. We're going to shut this window down in about 15-20 minutes, but you have 23 minutes left to make your purchase for Offerpalooza. We look forward to seeing you at the event. And keep those questions coming in. We'll keep answering as quickly as we possibly can. If for some reason it doesn't get answered, just repost and we will jump on it real quickly. Just want to check in and congratulate all of those folks who have bought their tickets for Offerpalooza. I see tons of orders rolling in here, so congratulations for being people of action. We are thrilled to have you join us in Offerpalooza. It's going to be a fantastic event, and it proves that you are willing to take a step forward to get your books done. As you saw at the start of the class today, up to 58 years, I think, was the number. Somebody's been waiting to get their book done. And people have been waiting for years, and it will not change if you don't take a step forward. So that's what this is all about. You know, I came to Black Card Books just like you, sitting in the audience, and I'm now the proud owner of Target Practice, 8 Mistakes That Ruin a Love of the Game, my #1 best-selling book in 5 categories. And as I said, I came to this just like you did, not as an employee, but as somebody wanting to get my book done, and it's done. And because of the seminar, that is why it's done. And I was able to build a $250,000 business around that book in the last 3 years alone. So what Jerry teaches works. I didn't do anything special. I just followed the program. So congratulations to those people who have taken a step forward to get their books done. We're so excited for you, and we're proud of you for doing that. And just remember, with the VIP package, you get replays to the event as well, which is really good. Kind of like going to the movies, you know, you watch the movie the second time and you see things that you missed the first time. So having those VIP replays is awesome and gives you the opportunity to watch them again and again, because you have them for life and you can go back and review them as often as you like and reinvigorate yourself and re-energize as well. So something you definitely should consider is the replays for all of the bonuses, but for me, the replays is the biggest thing to do with that. So again, the clock is ticking here.